Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for SmartChart in Action webinar. My name is Godfrey, and I'm in the marketing department. I'm going to be handing over to Doug, but first, some housekeeping. Anytime during the webinar, if you have any questions, you will see the Q&A icon in the bottom there. Just click on it and ask away any questions. If you are on a mobile device, just tap on the screen and the taskbar will appear and click on the Q&A bar and voila. We will be going over your questions in the end of the demo. Also note that this webinar is being recorded and we will share it with you after. Thanks again for joining us. Now over to you, Doug.
Thank you, Godfrey. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for taking a few minutes out of your very busy schedule and providing us the opportunity to show you SmartChart. As Godfrey indicated, my name is Doug McGregor, and I'm the VP of Customer Success at Winterra Dental. I'm Canadian, so I have to talk about the weather for a minute. So we're based in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and we're expecting between 5 and 10 centimeters of snow and possibly some freezing rain mixed in with it. Let me tell you, I am so looking forward to putting my winter boots in storage. So enough about the weather. Let's talk about SmartChart. So SmartChart is a perio charting software that will bridge to many of the existing practice management software systems in existence today. The bridge itself performs much like the bridge you use for your imaging software. So there is no need to change your practice management software. We are actually an enhancement to it. So our unique perio charting software, it was designed from the ground up to be operated by your voice. So voice activation was not an afterthought. It is the driving force behind SmartChart. So hygienists using SmartChart can now chart on their own as quickly as they would with an assistant helping them. So charting with your voice, it really allows you to stay focused on your patient's mouth. So what does that mean? Well, there's no more shifting from your patient's mouth over to your keyboard or pencil if you're using paper charting, and then back on to focusing on the patient's mouth and then switching again to the keyboard or paper. And so eliminating this constant back and forth, it really does help to reduce back strain. We also we think that we can help reduce some eye strain. So you don't go from staring into this 4-inch hole, commonly called the mouth, and then shifting from the mouth over to your screen, then back again into your mouth. You just keep your head down and stay focused. So, probably the biggest question we get is how long does it take to get proficient with SmartChart? Generally, we're seeing about an hour of usage with SmartChart, and you are good to go. So what gets us most excited about SmartChart? Well, it's what we're hearing from our users. As I show on the screen here, this is a quote that we often get from our users. If they're on a trial basis and we say, okay, you're finished with it, they say, don't you dare take this away. That really gets us excited. So SmartChart, it really does make the hygienists more efficient, more productive, healthier, and of course, happier. So I'd now like to take a minute and introduce you to Tracy Poirier. So Tracy has over 25 years of experience as a hygienist, and her last 17 years or thereabouts, she's been working in a periodontal practice. So Tracy is going to take a minute to show you SmartChart in action. Tracy?
Hey, thanks, Doug, for that introduction. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us today and taking some time out of your busy lunch schedule. I'm fully aware of that time frame not being a whole lot, so thanks a lot. I appreciate it. So as Doug was saying, I've got I've got over almost 30 years in hygiene. 17 of those years I did spend in a periodontal practice. And I spent, a good portion of my hour allotted either searching for somebody to help me chart, waiting for somebody to help me chart, or God forbid, actually trying to do it myself. So as you would realize, it's not very efficient. So I'd like to take an opportunity to show you SmartChart in action. I'm just going to share my screen with you here. Hopefully everybody can see that. Just type in the question and answer area if you can't see my screen okay. But in this screen I have a practice patient open. You can see it's a practice patient because all the numbers are the same. You would hope that over time you would see some improvement. But so we're just using this as an example. So you have the patient file open, but you can either open a patient record using the Find Patient button, which is down in the lower right half of the screen here. You can see I'm hovering over it with my mouse. But if you have a DPMS that has a bridge to SmartChart, you can select the patient in the DPMS, then click on a button, and SmartChart will automatically open that patient for you. So I'm going to start on the upper arch, on the distal buccal of 1/8. I'll unchart the entire arch. And so as you can see, everything is ready to go. So I just glove up and get started using voice input. So we'll give it a go. SmartChart, resume. 3, bleeding. 4, bleeding. 4, bleeding. 6, 5, swelling. 5, bleeding. 2, 4, bleeding. 3, 2, 3, 5, bleeding. 6, swelling, bleeding. 4, 2, 3, 3, 2, 5, 2, abrasion, 5, 4, 3, recession 3, 5, bleeding. 5, 2, recession 2, furcation 2, 5, bleeding 4, 5, 3, 4, bleeding 5, 4, bleeding 5, bleeding 5, 3, recession 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, bleeding 5, bleeding 5, bleeding 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 5, bleeding 4, recession 2, 5, bleeding 4, 3, 3. SmartChart, pause. So as you can see, I charted in less time than I generally use even tracking down an assistant by this point. So let's take a couple of minutes and highlight some of the features of SmartChart. So right now you can see that SmartChart is paused. When paused, SmartChart is listening for the start command, and anything else you say is ignored. So it's useful when you're explaining something to the patient or someone else in the operatory, like the doctor. So when activated, this area is highlighted in red, as you saw previously, and also indicates where you are in the mouth. So it'll say the exact tooth number, so 1-8 distal buccal, for instance. So to the right here, I'm going to use my mouse just to show you around. The mic here, as I'm highlighting on the upper right of the screen, is your training mic. Typically, training your voice takes about 6 to 7 minutes. And you're basically training the system to learn your voice. So now you can use SmartChart in any operatory. You log in and your voice profile follows you. So there's no need to be retraining. To the right of that is the printer icon, pretty self-explanatory, printing to a local printer or printing to a PDF and saving. To the right of that, of course, you see I am logged in, and as I mentioned before, my voice follows my login. So if I go into Operatory 2, for instance, I log in under Tracy Poirier, my voice is automatically following me there. The input box you're seeing here, this big square here, shows you exactly where you are in what area of the tooth. So here it's showing you the distal lingual of tooth number 1-8, shows you the various conditions that you can apply to the tooth. In some offices, they do not want to chart implants necessarily because periodontists are looking after that. You can actually click on that and it will not chart your implants. And then, of course, charting your getting rid of missing teeth as well. To the left of the screen here, you see I'm over on the arch mode, which is what I charted. Clicking on that, it has a scroll down menu. You can chart in arch mode, individual, if you just want to be looking after one tooth that you're specifically seeing some problems with, or you can chart in quadrant mode as well. Again, something very specific. So you can see at a glance that everything, your previous charting are stacked, so you can see pretty quickly any changes or any problems that might be arising in the new areas that you're charting. And then down here again, you can also skip implants in this area. So clicking on this, you can see if I do that, it actually shows a skipped implant. So I'll unclick that, and you can see that I've charted them today. Down on the very lower left, you can upload a photo of Tracy Benson. And then if you hover over it with your mouse, like I'm doing right now, it shows that with the medical alert that there's an allergy to latex there when I'm hovering over. To the right of that, if you're using a DPMS system, we recommend that you still put your medical history, treatment plan, clinical notes, and whatnot into your DPMS system. But if you are still a paper-based practice like I was in, you can actually either import medical history or rate medical history, put your treatment plan in there, your clinical notes, and then this area here, we actually approve the session. If you forget to approve the session, it automatically does that at midnight that same day. So going back, you would actually have to make some changes within clinical notes and to track that, and it gives you a timestamp as well. And then to the right, we already explained finding a patient or adding a new patient in. So that's just a brief overview of SmartChart, and I'm really excited about it because, like, I believe that it's going to make operators a lot more efficient. Being diagnosed with some osteoarthritis a couple of years ago, I'm well aware of the musculoskeletal issues that we encounter. So really excited that this is going to not only increase the health of practitioners, but also increase the efficiency as well. So thanks for sharing your time with us today. So if there's any questions, I'd love just click on the Q&A and type them in. And Alex, are there any questions for us right now? Or Godfrey, are there any questions for us?
Yes, there's a lot of questions actually. So the first question we have is, how does SmartChart work with accents? Tracy, do you mind taking this?
Yeah, currently, as I mentioned, the system works to train your voice. So even if you have an accent, it's going to work well with that as well. So not a problem with accents at all.
Awesome, awesome. And following with that, how long does the voice training take?
The voice training takes about 6 to 7 minutes typically, and we suggest that you only have to train your voice once. Now, in terms of working with the system, like anything that's new, I remember working with my loops. I remember putting them on and taking them off and putting them on and taking them off. And I did that, you know, for a good couple of weeks. Same thing with SmartChart. You don't want to throw yourself in the fire. So we're not saying, let's hook this up and start with your patient first thing on Monday morning. I'm saying, let's hook this up and take 15 minutes on your lunch hour or staying after work and getting a feel for how the system works. And then doing that every day for a week. And then maybe on Monday, picking one of your friendlies, you know, a patient that you've known for a really long time that maybe is right before lunch, that you don't mind taking an extra couple of minutes to, hey, show them how it works and get some feedback from them, and you'll have a pretty good idea of your comfort level. But it's going to take good 2 to 3 weeks.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy. The next question we have is how much does it cost? Doug, do you mind taking this?
Absolutely. So the cost is dependent on the size of the practice. So we start at $150 for your average practice, and that's a monthly bill, and we go up from there.
That's all the questions we have. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for attending, and don't forget, we'll be sending you the webinar after.
Thanks
Again.
everybody.
Thank you, Godfrey. Thank you, Tracy.
Thanks, Doug.
And thank you, everybody, for attending. And we do want to encourage you, if you would like to have a one-on-one session, please get back to us by email. We're happy to run a one-on-one session with you to answer any more specific questions and maybe address any questions that are specific to your practice. We can do that as through the web, much like we're doing it here. And you know, we do really encourage you to reach out to us for these one-on-one sessions, because you know, we often find with the one-on-one session there are additional questions that will come up. So again, thank you everyone for attending, and we look forward to hearing from you.